Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Hashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to all the brothers that they push this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to all the brothers and the children that they keep this word of sincerity and the truth. All right. Just wanted to go into a lesson going on the ultimate judgment for Esau, the ultimate judgment. And this is inspired by just thinking about the topic of how the Lord is going to bring this man and these other nations too, but specifically Esau, Edom. He's going to go through the worst captivity ever known, and man, he's going to be in the lowest position ever known in history, even lower than where we at. You know, he's going to be in our position, but in a very much lower state, being brought from the very top all the way to the bottom. And then not only that, He's going to have the worst end known in history, being he's about to go through 1,000 years of the hardest core slavery, the hardest slavery ever known to man. And then right after that, the ultimate judgment, he's going to cease to exist. His nation, his race, his lineage is going to cease to exist. Man, woman, and child of Esau, Edom's descent will cease to exist, which that's the ultimate judgment, you know, because here it is, this man Esau Edom, he'll go and say, well, certain animals are extinct, or certain animals are not here on earth anymore. Certain things doesn't you can't find on earth anymore. But the Lord never said anything about anything being extinct or anything ceasing to exist. Life that the Lord has created has not ceased to exist since the very beginning. Nothing ceased to exist that's been created. So, and the reason why a lot of things die off or there are few in numbers because of Esau Edom. It's because of what he's doing, how he's manipulated and destroyed the earth. But nothing ceased to exist. Like he'll say a certain species of animals cease to exist or something like that. The Lord already got things put up where you can't destroy it. You know, the Lord's not going to let this man just continually take life away from the earth to the point to where it's not here anymore. The Lord didn't even do that when it came to the flood. The Lord didn't make it to where life didn't exist on earth or certain species of animals didn't exist. He didn't even do that, you know. So if he didn't do it, why do you think how? Why would this man Esau Edom got this idea in people's minds that certain things cease to exist because of this factor or these factors, when really it's this man that's destroying everything. But the point is, he's finna ultimately be the one extinct. His race is finna be the only thing in creation that's gonna cease to exist. So I'm gonna jump into a couple quick scriptures to close it out. This is Obadiah 1. I'm gonna start at verse 15. It says, "For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head." And again, this is to all the nations. All the nations are finna go into judgment. They're finna be judged. They're finna get their judgment. And they're finna go into hardcore slavery right along with Esau Edom, because every single nation deserved it. Every single nation had a hand in taking down the Israelites. Psalms 83. They had a hand in taking us down and keeping us in this lower position and capitalizing off our oppression, capitalizing off our lower state, so that they can come up and thrive while we at the bottom suffer. So every single nation is going to have to receive they just due for it. It starts with Esau Edom because he's the spearhead of it all. Verse 16, "For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been." Yeah. So I'm going to read that one in the NLT. It said, "Just as you swallowed up my people on my holy mountain, so you and the surrounding nations will swallow the punishment I pour out on you. Yes, all you nations will drink and stagger and disappear from history." And I'm gonna get a couple of quick precepts. This is Psalms 83. Starting at 1, it says, keep not thy silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head, going into these other nations." because they are the enemies of the Israelites. And being an enemy of the Israelites, meaning you're an enemy of Yahweh where Yahweh shot. It says they make them tumult too. They all these nations got a council together against us. They have taken, with verse 3, they have taken careful counsel against our people, and they have consulted against our hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. And Esau, Edom spearheaded this, changing our identity and taking away our heritage from us. And these other nations was in agreement with him doing this. And they helped further this, and they capitalized off of this. He ran game on them. Esau told them, we're going to all keep this conspiracy going, not let these people know who they are so we can continually capitalize the benefit off of them. And they'll stay at the bottom. We'll always stay at the top. These other nations was in agreement with it. Verse 5, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And verses 6 on down to 9, it tells you all the nations. But it's going into all the nations that's all these other nations because they're all our enemies. I'm not going to go into it. This is Lamentations chapter 4, verses 21, because it's also said that they would swallow down, they would drink of that punishment, just like we had to drink of that punishment, of that cup. This is Lamentations 4 and 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and die, and it shall make thyself naked. So that cup of judgment, that cup of punishment that we done drunk, that we've been drinking this whole time, that's kept us at this bottom, the curses, they're going to receive that same judgment. And this is what they're going into. And it's already coming upon them. This is the beginning of them going into the beginning of them actually coming down as a superpower. This is the beginning of it. It's like they getting little sips of it now, but they're gonna get the full thing when Yahweh shall return and put them in that hardcore slavery. When Yahweh shall returns and all these nations are rounded up, the 1,000-year period is gonna begin, and and Esau, Edom is gonna have 1,000 years left to exist as a nation. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. And this is what the Lord is doing right now, discovering the sins of Esau, Edom. They're being exposed. And eventually, they're going to have to be judged for every single thing they have done, because Esau been a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth since the very beginning. So he has evils multiplied from thousands and thousands of years ago that he has to be paid back for. And he's going to get paid back all of that within a 1,000-year period. So imagine that this man has done, I just say, over 6,000 years worth of crimes and wickedness and evil. Spirit of Esau, Edom, so-called white man, it's over 6,000 years of wickedness, crimes, and evils on the earth, especially to the Israelites. And he got to get it paid back within a 1,000-year period before he ceased to exist. That's a level of judgment like no other. We can't even begin to fathom how horrible it's gonna be for him, and he's not gonna get any mercy. Scripture say, "He that shown no mercy, he's not gonna get no mercy. He's not gonna get no type of mercy." And then this is the nation that the Lord hates. Okay, this is the nation that the Lord hates. You can't even begin to fathom that. I'm gonna get that real quick. This is Micah 1 and 1, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Micah. I have loved you, said the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, said the Lord, that I loved Jacob, which is the Israelites, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Latinos, and Native Americans, so-called Black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native Americans. And I hated Esau and laid his mountain and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Right. So the Lord said he loved Jacob, but he hated Esau. This is the nation that he hates. Imagine how severe the punishment is going to be. We can't even imagine. And this man is about to experience this very, very soon. He's about to experience this very, very soon. I got one more and I'm going to get back to it. Mm. This is Jeremiah 49:12. But thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment, which are the Israelites, was not to drink of the cup, have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. It's the same cup that was spoken of in Lamentation chapter 4. That cup of judgment, that punishment, that the Lord paying back what these nations have done to the Israelites. Going back to Obadiah 15 again. It says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually, going into their cup of judgment, their cup of punishment. Yeah, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion, going also to Lamentations 4, where it said, but Israel, now is your time, to time of judgment over. Now it's time the Lord to deliver you out of your captivity and put you in your kingdom. But to these other nations, it's time for them to go into captivity of slavery. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. It's lucky. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them. There shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So after their hardcore 1,000 year slavery captivity and payback and punishment, they will cease to exist. That's the ultimate judgment. You know? No other nation or no other people, nothing else in existence has ever got a judgment as severe as that. That your whole nation will cease to exist. And then not only are they going, it's not like they're finna enjoy 1,000 years and then cease to exist. They're finna go through the worst thing any human being could ever go through. Then they're gonna cease to exist. That's the worst thing ever, and they deserve it. That's the thing. This is Isaiah 14. Uh, I'm gonna start at 15. It says, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch. And as the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, they go down to the stones of the pit as a carcass trodden underfoot. Right. This is thou, but thou art cast out of the grave like an abominable branch. And just to give the insight of who it's talking about, where is it at? Here it is. Verse 4, thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. Who is the king of Babylon? Talking about Esau Edom, the so-called white man. It says, and say, how have the oppressors ceased, the golden city ceased. In the NLT it says, you will taunt the king of Babylon, you will say, the mighty man have been destroyed, yet your insolence is ended. And this is how you know it's not talking about the spiritual demon Satan, because I believe this is where it say Lucifer. I think this, yeah, verse 12, it goes into Lucifer. But Lucifer, like it say in the NLT, is a shining star. Basically, like how the enlightened one. This is what it goes into. But I want to see verse 4 in another translation. Okay, it don't say nothing different. But yeah, that's what was going into Esau Edom. And that, like it said in the NLT, the mighty man. Who is the mighty man of the earth right now? The so-called white man Esau Edom, because of he has the rulership right now. So when it goes down back into verse 18, all the kings of the earth, kings of the nations, even all of them, and then they go into kings of the nations, going into men on the earth, even all of them lie in glory, everyone in his own house, right? Because all the other nations are ruling in their own lands right now, but the so-called white man is in control of the whole earth. But it says, "But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden underfoot." Verse 20, "Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, as thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned." I'm reading in NLT, "You will not be given a proper burial," because we wasn't given a proper burial. Like it say in Revelations, what is the chapter 11? Our dead bodies lie in the street of that great city. We wasn't given a proper burial. They're not going to be given a honorable memorial. And this is why. This is what it's going into when they say proper burial. Let me see. I just want to see how it worded in a different translation. I'm getting the BBE version. It says, "As for your fathers, you will not be united with them in their resting place, because you have been the cause of destruction to your land and to the death and of death to your people. The seed of evildoers will have no place in the memory of man." Love how that was worded. Uh, this is the BEES. It says, "As a garment defiled with blood shall not be pure, so neither shall thou be pure." Now, you think about that, because they'll never be able to understand the law. They'll never be able to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments perfectly, because they were created to be the wicked. They were created to be absolutely opposite of the laws, statutes, and commandments of righteousness. They were created to be opposite of righteousness. So it says, "As a garment defiled with blood should not be pure, so neither shall thou be pure," going to the so-called white man, "because thou hast destroyed my land and hast slain my people. Thou shalt not endure forever." Going into what Obadiah said, they will not. There will be no survivors of the house of Esau. Thou an evil seed. Yeah, so I like that one in the BBE version, where it said, "The seed of evildoer will have no place in the memory of man." But in the NLT, it says, "You will not be given a proper burial, but you have destroyed your nation and slaughtered your people. The descendants of such an evil person will never again receive honor." So the Lord is already exposing them now and stripping away their kingdom and their power that they have. And then when Yahweh returns and they be at the bottom, they would never, ever, ever get in no high position ever again. They will continually be in the same position. And the Lord is going to tell us to keep it like that. I'm going to keep continuing on in the KJV. "Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities." So I'm going to keep getting in these translations. This is the NET version. "Prepare to execute his sons for the sins their ancestors have committed. They must not rise up and possess and take possession of the earth, or fill the surface of the world with cities." Okay, I just wanted to see what the different translations said. Verse 22, "For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon," it's the same king of Babylon, as we read it in verse 4. "For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. In the NLT, it says, this is what the Lord of heaven's army say, I myself have risen against Babylon. I will destroy its children and its children's children, saith the Lord. And I'm going to get that one in the NLT. I just want to see what the different translations be going into some good stuff. This is the CSB version. I will rise up against them. This is the declaration of the Lord of armies. And I will cut off from Babylon her reputation, her remnant, offspring, and posterity. This is the Lord's declaration. And this is what he's doing. He's destroying Babylon, America, Babylon the Great on all levels. And who rules Babylon the Great? So-called white man Esau Edom. He's destroying everything about this man. In the AMP, it says the son and grandson. Uh, in the NET, I will rise up against them, says the Lord who commands armies. I will blot out all remembrance of Babylon and destroy all her people, including the offspring she produces, says the Lord. So the Lord is going to completely wipe this place away, because although it's focused on Esau Edom, and this is the main focal point of the scripture, all these new Edomites being born into the earth that haven't even done anything in this lifetime, they just coming back to receive their judgment that they done in their previous lifetime, you know. And like I said, including the offspring she produces, all her people, all these Edomites who believe that this country was for them, they'll tell Jake to go back to Africa. They'll tell the southern kingdom go back to Africa. They tell the northern kingdom go back home. We immigrants, this and that, go back to Mexico. Okay, okay. The Lord is going to take his people back to our original place, and he's going to completely destroy your land, and you will never ever rule anything, because you will never even be able to go back to the land you originally had. Um, okay, and I'm going to just get the last verse. It says, I will make, verse 23, I will also make it a possession of the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the bosom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. And we know what the we know what the bosom of destruction is, of thermonuclear missiles. So the Lord is gonna send that thermonuclear missiles all over here, that fire to go and purify this land and cleanse it of every single thing. So everywhere, everything we see in Babylon the Great right now, every place we see, just pull up a picture of a desert, a dry, empty desert, or maybe a picture of a destroyed land after nuclear war completely wiped away. That's how the whole Babylon. That's how this whole continent is gonna look. Just imagine that one little picture being this whole continent. You know, that image being this whole continent with nobody, no people in sight. That's what the Lord is going to do to this place. So he's going to completely destroy the so-called white man's land, his reputation, everything, expose him for all the evil that he's done. He's gonna put him in the hardest slavery ever known in human existence. This man being having to pay for over 6,000 years worth of crimes within the 1,000 year period, and then after that 1,000 year period, ceasing to exist. The ultimate judgment of Esau Edom. Lord will, this is an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well, and peace, love, salutations to the brothers out there, pushing his word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers and children that they're keeping his word of sincerity and the truth. Until next time, shalom.